Hello, I'm back. This is my video. I'm sorry I wasn't able to upload before. I had homework and it was horrible. So today we're going to be working on more of my mod. We're going to work on more late game swords, or more late early pre-hard mode swords. For example, I have this right here. This is an Amethyst Blade. We're going to work on this. We're going to make one for each of them. I've created this one previously to see if my idea would work, so I didn't look like an idiot getting on here. But here it is. So we're going to do this for each of them. Next is going to be Topaz, I believe. I'll double check that. Yeah, so there we go. I guess we'll just go ahead. Alright, well, here's my text editor, pretty much. Here's the programming for it. I'll talk about this in a moment. But as of right now, I just need to go to Documents, My Games, Terraria, Mod Loader, Mod Sources, Mod, Items, Weapons, and I need to create two new .s's or .cs's. So new, oh my bad, that was bad. I did not mean to do that. So the first is going to be Topaz Sword. Alright, so Topaz Sword, all files, .cs. Alright, don't think of this as a tutorial, guys. I've been able to upload because my internet's been bad and I've had a lot of homework. But just so I apologize, I'll try to make 2 videos today. But this is not a tutorial for modding, okay? This is more for my mod. If you want to see a full Terraria modding tutorial, I'll leave a description for the guy who I learned it from, because I do not want to take credit from him. He did a great job, and I wouldn't want to act like that was mine. So this is what I've learned from him and applying it to my own mod. Alright, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, Topaz Sword, it should be over here. I will, however, say that even though the guy in the video uses Sublime, I've used Sublime in the past whenever I programmed in Python and Lua. Lua is what, by the way, you use in the computer craft mod for Minecraft. That's why I learned it. Kind of funny. Well, you can. One wonderful thing about Sublime is you can create macros. So I've already created a macro for a sword. Oh, never mind. I had to move it because it added an issue. So let's check. So the cool thing, if you want to know how to create a macro, let me just take that real quick. Control Q to start recording it. Control Paste. Control Q again to stop recording it. Now go to Tools, Macros. My bad. Save macro. Click on whatever it is. Save. Then if you want to change it over, no, let's not save changes. If you want to change it over to a key function, you want to go to Preferences, Key Bindings Users, and then it opens this up. And for example, this is how you do it to Control Shift 1. You do, I forget exactly what the programming is for this. I think it's like assembly. I'm not sure. But keys, control, you can see it. I'll just hold it here for a second. Feel free to pause it. And then you can just do Control Shift 1 and adds a preload. So this is a file I made. It brings everything in, and I'll go briefly through things as I go, so just so we can get a feel for what this is. Ooh, a typo. Whatever we get is its example. So first of all, these right here. So I'm going to explain this how I've learned, because I haven't learned through a classroom. I've learned through Brackeys, by the way. He's a great programmer. I've learned C# from him, and Bucky, I learned Python from, and Lua I learned from some Minecraft forum. Both they're where I learned it from, so I forget everything exactly. But these are you basically, for example, you want to use these to bring things in. Otherwise, whenever you do this, you'd have to do like all the way from the beginning of your hard drive. So this sort of sets it in place so you understand what these mean. So I already just brought in everything I would need, which is Terraria, the mod loader, ID, graphic shaders, effects, the framework, which is important for your actual Windows. Collections generic. That's just, I'm pretty sure, sort of, like I said, just generic things you may need, and then systems, I'm not actually sure what that is, so I'm not going to lie to you. I'll start off, you say namespace, and this is to declare where the file you're currently on is located. So if you can see mine at the top, or if you can just remember, you can see mine at the top just so you understand what I'm saying. So mine's in mod dot items dot weapons, and then I leave it at that because right now the Topaz Sword .cs is in this directory. Public class. I also left these here, just so anyone knows. perfection. The public class for this needs to be your public class in a C sharp, and I believe C, in a lot of things in Java, C++, C sharp. Public class needs to be. Let it cough. I'm back. It needs to be whatever your program is named without the CS. So Topaz dot sword. There we go. Not dot sword. By the way, this right here, this is called camel something. I forget. And that's because it has the letter. I believe it thinks it's like a hump. I'll take this out because this seems to mess it up. If you want to know how to add a question, I guess, you do this. Or not a question. You want to add notes during the text. You add 2 forward slashes, and it sort of thinks that it doesn't really know what it is. You can also do that, or backslashes, and then these are called, what are these? Tags. There we go. And then remarks. Again, more, and then you add slash remarks, and then you can just add anything in here that will be ignored. So remarks can be used like, for example, hold on, let's see. So I can say like, this would be like a way of like labeling things so that they stick out. So this could be example of notes. That's bad. Of remarks. And you do remarks throughout the thing. You want to make sure they're both the same side, the same. Just because uniform, and that's just how tags work. I'm not sure why exactly. I am going to go into college this later on, so I'll have a more grasp of the concept. So that's that. You can also have things called summary. So I'm not going to get into summary. We don't really need one. I'll just leave that up there. No, I'm not, because I don't really need it. That's ugly. So that's just, there we go. If you want a more intensive understanding of what that is, that's more C# rather than Terraria. So go ahead and look that up. Alright, so this over here, I'll explain these briefly. So public override void. Voids are sort of like, so voids are variables. No, they're not variables. Voids are like, so for example in Python you have, okay, so voids are more the pieces within the bigger picture, right? So, yeah, I guess that's better. So it's, that makes sense. They're sort of like the actual actions. They're the actual commands that you create, and these are ones that are like pre-generated, I guess how I'd explain them. So for this one's set defaults. By the way, I don't know why. For some, but you have to add semicolons at the end in C#, and you have to add these because some of these require arguments. For example, this one over here requires an argument. I'll explain. So I start off with, this is in alphabetical order because I don't know the best way to put it. Auto reuse. We're not going to do auto reuse. No, we are. And I'll remove the auto reuse for the stone sword. I also forgot to tell you guys about that. So Booleans are like yes or no, I believe. True or false, on or off. They're or statements, pretty much. That's how they're explained to me. Numbers, we all know what a number is. Item damage, I feel like, what did I do in the last one? Let's check. So for my Amethyst Sword, oops, I accidentally went on Terraria. Oopsie. So for my Amethyst Sword, just pull it up next to it. I did, the damage was 14, so this one I'm going to do 16. I also lowered the damage on my stone sword, by the way, guys, because I felt like it was too overpowered just for stone. Item height, 80. I don't know why, but it seems to work for swords in the game. Other items require different sizes, but that sort of is the scale of your sword in-game, so that works. The name of it, oh, I missed melee, and knockback. I did 5 in the other one, let's do 6. Item melee, that's true. Yet again, a Boolean. This means, is it like a ranged or melee, because you know it calculates damage within the game. Item name, Topaz Blade. Nice. I don't like whenever they're inconsistent. Alright, next is item.rare. So the last one I made 1. I'll make this one 2, just because. Not really. Some of these things, like I said, I don't know all of this, obviously. I don't really know how the item rarity works. The tooltip. Ooh, not made in capital. A shimmery blade made of Topaz. Excellent. Period. So this is a string. Up here I had it as well. Strings are often used to display things. You can also use strings whenever looking up your system path. So like this up here, I guess I could have used a string up there if I had done a different namespace, where I could do like a string could be, like if I had done it in that instance would have been mod slash items slash weapons. So that could be a way that they're used. They can also be used, you could say, for example, in, let's just do another one real quick, for the syntax of Python real quick, see if I can pull it out real quick. Python's what I'm most familiar with, guys. It's it's the first language I learned. I'm best at it. I'll pull up the syntax. My main man, Python. So basically with Python you could print and then you'd say hello world. And this is a string. So this would print it out. I don't have my compiler messed up on here because my .api is messed up on this computer. I'm trying to fix that. But so it would print API and I mean this would print out so it basically strings get printed out. I don't know how to print out in the other one yet. I believe it's console.output. Something else to be noticed, this is something I just thought I'd add while I'm here. Python, these do not work. I'll show you. Hello, this is a note. See how it's still, oops. You see how is still an is, there's a statement for that, but if I do sharp instead, this, oops, is a note. See how it actually works? So I'll just save that real quick. This is not a note. Look at that. Bam. Teaching you guys stuff. So, yeah, pretty much. I'll have to refresh myself on Python. It's been a while since I've done it, but that's my favorite language. Like a little snake. Item use animation. You want to make the item use animation the same as your item use time. I believe in the first one we made item use time. Let's see. 15. That's a little high. We'll do, in all honesty, 30. No, that's too high. We'll do 25. This one will go down to 20. So these are going to get increasingly better, by the way. They're going to get exponentially better because there's 3 variables for damage output that's going to get changed here. So, ooh, cough, 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 cough. Use animation, time use animation. Wait a second. Yeah, I forgot to change that. 25. Excellent. So 20. Use sound, just 1. That's same as everyone else. Use style, 1. Use style is like if it has like a little jab, a swing over, or what the Archaeolus uses, that sort of swishy swish. We're just gonna use 1. Use time should be the same as the animation, just because it makes sense. You don't want. I don't really know how to explain that without it sounding like without making you guys think you're stupid. You guys are smart enough to realize why that needs to be that way. Use turn, true. That limits how many times you can use it, I think. Not really sure what that is, but that's alright. I think it allows, like, you can't overlap with stuff. Like, you can't use a new turn as another turn's going. Value, but correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Definitely. Value, the last one I said was 100. I'll do this one as 200, just because I don't really know the difference. Width, 80, so the same as your height. Projectile, let's see. We'll name this one Topaz, because that's going to be the item that we shoot out. Item speed, last one, here's what I can explain. Last one was 4F. This one's going to be 6F. I'll explain why greater is better in this case. Scroll down, Control S. Block ID. Oh, guys, by the way, floats are variables, I believe, that can be decimal places. They're numbers that can be decimal places. So you just put F at the end to identify that it's a float rather than another one. Because if it's the other one, they round them off. So if I put 1 plus 1.5, or if I put A equals 1.5, here, I'll pull this up with Python real quick, just because, so I can give a brief explanation. View syntax. Oh gosh, I just can't believe I did that. Syntax Python. So, oh yeah, I have to do it again. So for example, this one I could do. Let me just set up these up real quick. B. Python. The only thing you have to do is declare a variable. Is just add a space. By the way, so I could say A is 5. B is 5.5, and then I did A plus B equals C, and then I could say, oh, I just found a, what's it called? A macro. I just discovered a Python macro. That's pretty cool. I'll have to figure out what I did in a minute. Let's go and do that. Ooh. Whatever. A equals C. Ooh, that's wrong. And then I could say at the bottom, print, and then I would just do CF, I believe. That's wrong. But if I made it a float, here we go. Oh wow, no, maybe I'm getting programming languages mixed up. Maybe I have to spell it a different way. Well, floats would be where if it's not a float, it'll round it up, and if it is a float, it'll do exact decimals. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. It's been a while since I've programmed. I want to get back into it, so don't take what I'm saying as fact, please. So like I said, I'll just change this to stone block, just so we get in game. You can see. I'll just do 1 because I want us to actually look at the weapon. And then I'll change it to what's it called later. So right now we have it Topaz, item shoot speed 6F. So over here I need to change this one, by the way, to Amethyst. Boom, boom, boom. People acting like I ain't a criminal. Alright though, like I ain't getting dirt though. 6. I think that's safe. I'll just save that. Get rid of it. What is this? We're on Amethyst. We're on Topaz Sword. So for the Topaz, we'll need to create another program. File, save as Topaz dot CS. Change this from text, otherwise it won't work. Now I'll just copy what I did for my Amethyst, just because I don't have a macro set up. Unfortunately. Open it up, paste it. My items.odds weapons, public class name, Topaz, because that's the name of my file. See? Not CS though. Projectile name, this doesn't really matter, but this can declare, excuse me, this declares sort of the ID for it. AI type, projectile ID, flamerang, I'll explain that in a minute. Return true, this should be pretty much good. Let me check everything one more time. Check. Control S. Now, I already have a Topaz here, but let me explain briefly how I create my stuff. My stufferoonies. I'll just use the same as Amethyst Sword. These Amethyst Swords are going to get updated, obviously. These swords are garbage. Oh yeah, resize it. My bad. My bad. 64. I did that last time. Alright. Topaz are going to be like sort of like a pretty, what's it called? Like a gold, right? Then again, we have amber more down the road. That's fine for now. That's fine. I like it. Let's check. See if that's pretty close. Nah, they're a little browner. So that means up towards orange, right? There we go. Yeah, I like it. Like I said, I'll fix these later, guys, don't worry. Alright, documents, my games, Terraria, mod loader, mod sources, mod, items, weapons, there we go. All files. Now I need to change to Topaz Sword .png. Successfully, it's perfecto. Oh, I'm so dumb. I've made a grave mistake. I saved it as a .piskel instead of exporting it. My bad, my bad. Alright. We're back at it again. Let's resize it this time. Don't forget. Also, you guys can create excellent GIFs. It is GIF, by the way. The creator said it's pronounced GIF. It's not GIF. Thank you very much. Fight me in the comment section below. But that's something I'm very passionate about. So I forgot to let me explain what I meant earlier. Let's sort of turn it down a bit. Nice, perfect. That's much better, I think, than my first try. That's definitely more of an amethyst color. Alright, export, download. And now, Topaz Sword. Perfect. Documents. My games. Terraria. Mod loader. Mod sources. Mod. Items. Weapons. All files. That's better. Alright. Now it should show up here. Topaz Sword. Now there's... because I usually mess up a little bit. But this time, I mean, I've done this several times. So don't be surprised if there is one. Yeah. Topaz Sword. By the way, guys, this is how you look up where you make errors. This is the problem with live text editing. So topazsword.cs line 14, column 29. Okay. Line 14. Column. There we go. There we go. That's all I needed. That error. Let's see if that's it. Uh, 3954. What was wrong there? 39. There should be a closed parentheses here after the 1. You're right. Simple mistake. Let's see what else. There we go. See, I don't really just make drastic mistakes. There we go. Back when I was 13, let's go to Terraria real quick. Alright, so this is the old one. Slow. Let's get out. Let's go over here real quick. Why'd I just jump up there? Silly me. Alright. Topaz Blade. Oh yeah, looks like that pink blade. I'll show you that guys in a second. That's something I worked on just for fun. Why'd I do that? Alright. So this is my murderous... oh, I got a murderous one. I don't want that. I want to just display what the actual thing is. I also don't want a lazy one either. So I want to directly compare them, guys. Let's hope I don't get any modifiers. Topaz. Okay, good. Oh yeah, sadly the other one now he requires what's it called. That's fine, I'll just get back out real quick. So this isn't going to be right because it's a little too slow. But just there you go. So it can send out, usually it would send out 3, I'm assuming, around there. This one can send out 3. So if you guys look, you see how they can sort of go farther? That's because they have a slower or a higher float in the time and the projectile speed. Because it takes longer to get where they're going. That's pretty good. Excellent. So these swords are pretty nice. I'll have to ooh, I killed him. That was sad. I'll have to work on the sprites a little better. I just wanted to get like a generic thing set up. I'll probably have like a black hilt with a better blade, and then I'll get the PNG for the thing, and I'll get like, maybe we can get a gem stuck in the blade. But if you look, isn't that cool? They just bounce around. Also, I'll worry about perhaps making our own custom projectile type so that we can have custom colors, flames. That might be cool. But right now they're just using the flamerang type projectile. Alrighty, well, guys, thanks for watching my video. If you enjoyed, make sure you watch the rest. My first video really showing myself as a programmer. I'll have to touch up on some things. Maybe I can do Python if necessary, show you a game that I worked on in C#. Without any further ado, goodbye. Thank you. Oops.